can't see. Because you can't see the comments. Where's the comments? Is that them? Nobody's commenting. Guess that's why I can't see. I'm just out for a wee walk with the doggies here. Curfew's been lifted, so I can get out my wee nighttime walks again. Just thought I would do a wee video, see who's out there. Hello, Forza King. How are you? Hey, Alan. Yeah, I'm out for a wee donder. I'm actually round at a wee park here around the corner. Yeah, just letting the dogs have a wee run. I've just got a wee light up above my head, so it's shining sunlight on me. I just thought I would do a wee late one. Yeah, busy through the day. Obviously, I was at Naomi Long's office with about 10 people. Just staged the wee protest. Try and get some momentum going to get people going to the politicians' offices and protest. A lot of people have been asking for it and saying that's where we should be. So trust the protest. Trust the protest. Trust the process. You know, the process has been started. I lifted all the bail conditions on me today when I walked in. To saying, what's happening, bro? Good to see us all in anyway. I know I haven't been on YouTube in a few nights, but obviously I've sort of been sticking my head into the legal world, let's just say, doing a bit of research for my case. A lot of us will know that litigating my own case, the alleged claims being made against me. I'm not talking much about the case, but yeah, it is ongoing. Well, still things to be answered, let's just say. Alright, Bebop, you all good? Oh, sure. I don't know, did any of you see the wee video today? That storm on? You see, I'm gonna go out here, see if I can get a bit more light. I know it's a bit dark. It's dark in the park, so I'm gonna walk outside, just to be a bit more light in the subject. So yeah, how have yous all been anyway? Two dogs going mad, running mad. I'm just gonna go outside here, get a bit of... That's a bit better, is it? My eyes haven't been just that late. Sit down in the path here. See how yous are all doing. It's a bit better, is it? Yeah. No, so I'm just out running about, just a wee bit late. He's he blocked the car wouldn't let her leave because he wasn't fast enough. Only left when a group of others arrived. Yeah, Belfast Barbiets tend to what to do. Either, you know, a lot of them are just arrogant people because where they come from, they're just ignorant. You know, they're not taught any manners. It's only when they come to live in civilized countries like ours that they learn manners. Sometimes they have to learn the hard way. No, where's your check? Yeah, well, this wee world is we all support each other. There's your check. You know, we all get to know each other. It's about building and starting new communities, new strong communities of like-minded people. That's what I'd always set out to do anyway. You go back over the years that I've been doing videos and just trying to raise awareness on social media about the rulers of this world that we live in. Chacho, Holly Dolly. No, that's Dolly who I think it is. Yeah, around the corner. That's where I'm at. Let my dogs have a wee run. Who forgot? Yeah, we do it for everyone. There's your chick. You know, we are one big family. That's what, yeah, let's get back to what I was talking about. That's sort of what I envisaged, you know, in my head and how to go forward. And You know, things should be done on a daily basis, not a monthly basis. Protests should be at least every week. Very quickly on, surpassed that, all the different communities around. You know, you had the Shankill and the Ainsworth, Shore Road, the Newton Abbey ones, even stretching as far as Carrick and down to Newton Ards. I heard there was one in Tyrone as well. So to see it actually spreading and taking effect and everybody standing their own ground, on their own 2 feet, it's their every right to peacefully protest, folks. You know, so you should have no fear of going out to protest, especially against this tyrannical government. I mean, most individual police officers know that this government's just corrupt. They don't support the people, never have. Ah, is that what it is? Actually, I'll find it later. I'm a wee smoke. I'm 66, daughters are 25 and 14. I'm relying on you guys to look after my daughters. Well, yeah, Foxy lad, how are you? Well, I mean, here's the thing. We've put a presence out there. You know, we've created a presence in our streets which has spread out like a ripple effect, and our communities do feel safe. I can feel in East Belfast itself, the air around me, you know, there's no tension. Not as much tension as there was. From what I'm led to believe is that McDonald's at Conswater are now vetting their delivery drivers to make sure that all their papers are in line and their cars are up to date and up to scratch and roadworthy to be doing business, let's say. Good Lord, we'd have loved a wee roll. Yeah, like a wee roll up late at night. Helps settle the brain waves. Helps take me down the beta waves. The trouble is the Gen X are obviously to it all. Well, the Generation X, they're just starting to wake up again, aren't we? Aren't we, Generation X? Aren't we just starting to wake up again? Well, some of us have been awake for a while, just needed more of us to wake up and come and join us. So it's always about the numbers. Always about the numbers. Even when it comes to your politicians, a vote of no confidence, you get enough people in your constituency, I think it's like 15% or something at least, then you can challenge your MLA's position. Yeah, Kendo, how are you? Go James, Taggart, go Dobbs. Oh, 100%, we shall not be replaced. Is that a Palestinian flag, Dobbs? Oh, sorry, is that a Hamas terrorist flag, should I say? Agamoth, how are you? Yeah, but Bebop, Amit. It's the way I see it. It's not even fighting. I mean, it's about giving people the courage. You know, I get my courage through affirmations from Heavenly Father. That's my faith. Is what I do. I know who is supporting me and who's backing me. My faith stretches a long way. Steve Nolan flag. I heard he done a show tonight. How did the vote go? They voted in favour for that Irish language act that nobody can speak, nobody can talk. Depends by the IDF. That flotilla that she was floating about on, I seen a report that it was actually funded by Hamas. That Greta Thunberg flotilla. Where'd Hamas get their money? Probably from Sinn Féin. I think Sinn Féin have a lot of businesses over in Gaza, so that land is within their interest, should I say, or maybe there's a conflict of interest there with Sinn Féin in Gaza and their decision making. I think the lighter's going to work here. Got it. Just a wee bit of wind picking up. So, I mean, here's the thing. The Irish Language Act, that, honestly, where's the consent forms? Can they show us the numbers people consented? Is it going to be like one of those ones, the Good Friday appeasement, where, 1% of the population consented to it and it was just passed as a majority vote? Is this the same thing with the Irish Language Act? Well, we've got 12% of people actually consented to it, and they don't give a fuck about the rest. That's the minority. That's not how democracy works, folks. Democracy works on majority vote rules. Probably sitting watching this, folks. That's why you don't get done for slander. Everybody gets offended these days. We're living in fairy tale land, aren't we? You're not wearing the right appropriate clothing. I seen a thing there the other night. What was this? Like this new headwear for women, and it's sort of glamorized up. You got it in pink, obviously, or black, but it's just like a fucking hijab. And they're selling it as a fashion model coming into winter here. Watch this space. You're going to see a lot of girls, women running about here with these winter wear hijabs on. And there's someone making threats in the video where Naomi Long's fucking protested it on. It just flicked up on the top of the screen. Somebody saying along the lines, if I ever came to their door, they're going to do something really bad. Oh dear. Snowflakes, yep. Snowflakes, a lot of them, Winston. Hello, Brian James. Yeah, it's just going, hello, Lemmy. Feels like a stomp on his knee. He's at our Jabba the Hutt. Well, that's a good point there, Sure, it's Halloween soon. I think we should all start getting our anonymous masks out. I think it's time I started getting symbolic with these protests, Symbology says a lot more in their world. And start getting out with our pitchforks and stuff like that. Obviously cardboard cutout pitchforks. We can't have any what could be construed as offensive, dangerous weapons. No. Only the illegals get to run about with things like that. I know, Ken, that's one of them ones. They know where all my protests are, I put them out there a week before to do them. Here's the thing about the Naomi Long one, I didn't put it out there till about 3:15 today. And it was starting at 3:30. 33, yeah, that's the time it started at. But I didn't put it out too early because I didn't want to give too much notification on it. And I didn't mind that it was just a small protest, and it was a group of the loyal, committed protesters, good friends of mine. I can call them good friends. So yeah, it was kept quiet, but the next ones won't be kept quiet. We've set the standard now. This is how it goes. This is how it operates. We were there, a policeman come up and had a wee yarn with me. He turned his camera off because he come up and his camera was on, and he called me Mr. Baker. Now, Mr. Baker only exists on paper. And if I get it into the whole legal straw man debate, that's basically how they connect you to their legal world, commerce world, the corporation. It's like, what's a person? Every act, statute and legislation will apply to a person. What is a person? A person is a corporation. That's what a person is. A corporation, corpse, dead thing, an oration is obviously speaking terms, speaking definition. And that's why you'll hear the term in likes of a court of magistrates, dead men don't speak. And that's why a lot of people would go into these courts and use a solicitor instead of just walking in and standing in honour. And you don't play anything until you know that there's an actual case to answer to. Corpse, hence dead man. That's the one. Ireland, 100%. So what it basically is, if you look back at the 1666 Escovite Trust, I think it was Pope Boniface or something like that there, it brought out this, and what it done was basically gave them as the right to claim ownership over our souls. But nobody really knows this. It still exists. If you go and check it in the legislation there, it's in there. So they tie that all in. That's what's called your straw man, your legal entity. That's you've been paying all these bills for, and you don't even know that it exists. Yeah. So when you're addressed as Mister, your malicious communications letters come in all caps, American Sign Language, what's known as. Some may call it other things, like dog Latin. Uh, but yeah, it doesn't exist in the English language, so it can't be used really as as defamation if you write something in all caps, or it can't be used against you because it's not the English language. Pleading the fifth, yeah, that's what they do in America when he's here. You see the auditors over in America, they use the old plead the fifth. It's, they right there remain silent, so they'll just stand, they'll say nothing. So a policeman wants to carry on their non-judicial duties against their code of conduct and just make arrests, uh, when they should really be calling people in for interviews of anything. Yeah, that kind of thing. False imprisonment, false arrest, false detainment for silly wee things. Hey Elaine, how are you? Yeah, I seen that wee video yesterday, Elaine. That was a house, and was it Shannon? Is on the housing list for years. Shannon down there in Ballymena. It's on my page. She put up a poster and I shared it. She's been waiting in a house for ages, and yet these people are just walking into houses. Well, that was part of the protest at Naomi Long's office as well. That's what I told the constable. You know, it's basically we're here for our housing rates. Our people should be housed first. If our landlords want to make money off this government, it should be done through our people. You know, remember there used to be an old thing called a brew drop here. Probably still exists, I don't know. You know, but those were the things that we would have got up to back in the day. And, you know, somebody would have made a few quid, but it was our people that made a few quid, you know, through our people. That's the way our society should always be set up. Yeah, so back to the mister, you know, the whole mister, Mr. Baker, as the officer likes to speak to me too, because when he calls me Mr. Baker, I call him an officer. No longer is he a constable, because he's trying to joinder me into contract, talking legalese and all that. Sometimes it's just like a general chat, but he had to be reminded that he should have informed me that he was recording, folks. So every time you see a police man, constable or officer, and they're recording and they don't tell you, well, why are they not telling you? They're not telling you because they want to conceal something. Maybe there's something there that they might want to use against you, but maybe there's something there that they've recorded that might be used against them and folks. And that's what comes into a DSAR, a data subject access request form. That's what you put in when you want their digital footage, because they become data controllers. When they start recording you, they should be informing you that they're recording you, and they are now data controllers. They're controlling the data that they have recorded. And it's the same with any CCTV in a business or company. If they've recorded you, you have a right to access that. You walk into a shop, you buy a tin of Coke, and somebody throws you dirty looks and you want to check it out, you have a right to request that through a DSAR. So yeah, pleading the fifth, it's right to remain silent. What they'll do here is if they arrest you, they'll read you out what's known as the Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. You have that right, you know, and it's the first one you should use. Anything you do say can. So they're telling you can, and then they tell you that it will be used against you. It's always going to be used against you, because it's the only thing that they have where they can try and get you to admit to committing an offence. And that's why these voluntary interviews and stuff come in, because they have nothing on you, you know. And that's what that policeman should have done with me that night when they rapped my door at 2:30 in the morning, where I had 4 vulnerable children and a vulnerable mother sleeping in their beds. He should have asked me to come in for an interview. At this point, he'd been told to, you know, saunter. Anyway, fair talk. Did you see the myth has to ask the officers if they are in the Masons? Sure, most of them are. Most of them are, was it? You know, that's why they're in those positions. You know, Keir Starmer. You know, these people can't be prime ministers if they're not in the Bilderberg group or the Fabian Society. Let's say that's socialist, communist, Marxist think tank. Is there no one? Everything's a think tank now. You know, it's these advisors, even the Privy Council to the King. There's a think tank. It's like Gavin Robinson, member of the Privy Council. He's the one that sort of informs. Supposed to inform this tyrannical king, Muslim king, that the affairs what's going on in Northern Ireland, how decisions being made over there will affect Northern Ireland, but none of that's happening. You know, they never come out and said in '93 when King Charles gave a speech saying that we need to embrace Islam. Go and pull your fat fingers, man. Doesn't work that way. And so I always try to remind the people, I mean, in my heart, I know that we the people, united as one, we will start to pull the cords here. We will start to pull the strings. Because remember, these people live in this fucking country with us. And what's that good old saying that's always known in Northern Ireland? Yeah. It's a small country. Yeah, it is. It's a small group of islands. Yeah, it is. We all know somebody that knows somebody. And I know a lot of people that know a lot of people. And I always have done. I've always been a social person. I've always made lots of friends. Unless I didn't get on with somebody. Bad energy and all that. Call the 1 Million March. Is that the Unite God's Kingdom March over rally that took place over in London? We are the people. We the people. We are the ones that make laws, because acts, statutes and legislation can only be given the force of law by. That creates that codependency. They cannot make laws, these fucking fraudulent, unethical, treasonous policies, without our consent. And this is what I always try to tell people. I don't remember sitting down with any of these politicians and saying, yeah, that's okay, you can take away my right to breathe recreational air. You can take away my right of freedom of movement. You can take my right away of privacy, a right to a private life, a right to have and raise children, because that's what they're doing. You know, it's constantly rammed this here whole contraceptive thing down our throats, where these Muslim nations don't even know what a condom is. Never seen it. They think they're balloons. They're fucking writing birthday ages on them for birthday parties with their 6-year-old married children. Yeah. Here in LA, and letting people know about what's going on in the UK. 100% better dead than red. Listen, you can put them on my channel. There's another channel, or get them on to Freedom Dad 73. Freedom Dad 73. He's the citizen journalist here. He's our main citizen journalist. We'll have CJ Audits Northern Ireland. He's the main auditor. And then we'll have me. I'm just a political activist. In Northern Ireland's leading lockdown activist. That's what John Toner from the Sunday Life liked to call me. And I noticed he didn't do a report on me in that when I was up in court there on Thursday. He was sat there. He didn't speak about me. So maybe you have put the past behind you, John, and you know, let bygones be bygones and all that. I have no issues with you. You're not slobbering about me, I'm not slobbering about you, mate. But I still don't like mainstream media. Sunday Life and the Sunday World have caused people's lives here in Northern Ireland. And I think those organisations should be held accountable also for that. Well, I'll just call you Red, better dead than red convicts. Right, Red, so here's the thing. We were raised in gang culture. Here in the UK, you had the football hooligans. Here in Northern Ireland, you had terrorists and loyalists. We were raised in gang culture for the last 100 years. It was the only way they could create havoc and chaos within our societies. And everybody talks about this order ab chaos. It's Latin for order out of chaos, right? The chaos exists in our minds. So for 100 years, these people have been thrown us into world wars, proxy wars, and, you know, I always say they were calling knowledge. The knowledge of the elders, you know, it's the witches that used to heal people with herbs. Remember the old stories where people get burned at the stake for being witches? If they didn't burn, they weren't a witch. If they did burn, or if they didn't burn, they were a witch. And if they did burn, they weren't a witch. So these people were getting burnt and they were burning to death. So they weren't witches. People were just getting persecuted because they were healing people. So this establishment is a long time old, and they're referred to as the money changers a long time ago. they talk about in that Bible. The money changers, the wrong'uns, child traffickers, the child molesters, the child real bad guys when it comes to trafficking. Yes, Lynn, just seeing your comment again and back to that. I seen the video of those ones that come in. I seen some pictures earlier. I seen a video a few days ago and I seen pictures earlier of other ones, yeah. So, you know, at least yous are being vigilant, yous are keeping an eye. You know, and what I seen it was males that went into that house. The picture earlier. Yes, Ken, the one Fabians, everybody remember the Fabians. Remember the Fabians. Right, Ursula, we're in Northern Ireland here. It's old Stevie Baker. Right, not old Tommy. Tommy's doing for England's great, uniting the people, absolutely amazing, regardless of his, you know, beliefs. Everybody's entitled to opinion, but I believe what he's doing in uniting God's kingdom, you know. That, I can't agree on things with him. But opinions are opinions. I hope that answers your question too, Ken. I've no issues with Tommy, you know. I watched Tommy years ago when he was exposing the grooming gangs, and it sort of led me on that path. I was talking about these things because of the likes of the EDL, Tommy Robinson, Britain First, you know, Jada Thompson and that. You hear they're back in the limelight too. They've been causing some harassment. Alleged. Can't remember what it was they were saying. Stevie Baker, Brian. Long-term old people don't change them top rate because they look after the houses. I don't need the money. Buy me Xmas presents, right? It's good to see you're all talking HR. Nobody talking to me. Just going to read through some of your comments here. Saying, yeah, our cartels are hard. No one fucks with us. 100% red, you know. And listen, I'm not just about uniting Ulster here, it's about the Republic, it's about England, Scotland, Wales, and Europe. We all need to start these new Christian crusades here. We all need to put on the full armour of God and stand strong in the faith and revitalise our true values and virtuous ways. Yeah, well, I'm just a, you see above my head there, Kendo, I'm just a beacon of light. You know, I just relay what the Father relays through me. I'm just downloading from the cloud like Moses done, mate, back in the day. Just there's the laws, there you go, Moses going, you know, you're blessed Moses, you know. And I believe I'm blessed. I believe that's why I have to do what I'm doing. He should have been dead a long time ago in a car accident that was involved in. I was the driver. A couple of friends got hurt. I ended up in jail, done my time for it. But I'm still friends. Still have those friends. But yeah, Kendo, yeah, look, I tell my truth. I can only tell things how I perceive them, how I decode them in my brain, break them down. Everybody's brain works different. My brain works mainly on the right-hand side. A lot of likes of those lefties, their brains work on the left-hand side, the programmable matter, as I would call it. Yes, Ireland, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. And I mean, this is the thing, you know. As I always say to people, Jesus taught us to live in the now, to live in the moment. Don't live through your past traumas by living in the past. And don't worry about future anxieties because you're not there yet. You know, always live in the now. And if you're ever down, always remind yourself, you know, God's watching you. Your Father's got an eye on you. It's never the end until it's the end. Who's in Birmingham, Dubs? I'm getting caught up in your... Yeah, Brian, I did. That's what I'm saying. 11 years ago, 12 years ago, I was on board watching Tommy Robinson and Britain First and all that there. There's no doubt, without a doubt. I don't deny that there. Tommy's doing a great job over in England, I don't deny that either, but I mean, I'm focusing here on Ulster, us folks here in Northern Ireland, and the Republic of Ireland to kick out the EU. Let's have an Brexit. Us Irish folks, and I mean, I keep going on about Irish. I mean, I'm Irish myself, the truth be told. And 3 Irish grandparents. I was just born and raised in a Protestant loyalist area. My granny was Irish. My parents, my uncles were all fucking ginger. I used to grow a ginger beard, but the ginger bits go grey now. I'm just hoping the Irishness hasn't widened all out of me. They'll start calling me Whitebeard now. That's it. That's it, Kendall, 100%. Unity is our strength, and that's what these politicians fear. Sinn Féin, DUP, SDLP, they all fear it. And they all fear us uniting. There's a car driving down the street here and just wanted to see me and wondering why I'm sitting here. It actually does like dodgy. Just sat outside a park. Big beard, long hair. That's the one, Brian. That's the one. Darka, mate. Cali dad. No, there's a wee mate from the east. Cali dad. On. He's usually in here chatting. It's just not here tonight. He's on Freedom Dads as well. Good to see a lot of you from Freedom Dads too. You'll see his video earlier on, the wee video I uploaded, Naomi Long's office. You know, we teamed up again, as we've done before. Oh, Red, you know, tells you the kingdom of God is within you. It's not that you're actually God, you know, but God's within you. You've been given this vessel. You're here on one mission, and that mission is to find God, folks. You know, people will suffer for lack of knowledge. And also, I think it's John 10:27. It's, you know, my sheep will hear my voice. And as I was saying about Jesus teaching us all to live in the night, it says it right there in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, give us this day our daily bread. This day our daily bread, you know. And it's just unfortunate lie, the bread that we all eat is toxic to us. It's not used with proper refined wheat or grains. It's full of yeast, sugars. Sugar's the most toxic substance on the earth that we consume. Starting to get carried away here. Different topics. I actually forgot where I was. Where was I? Yes, Naomi Long's office. So it's a start. And God is our armour. Yep, 100%. 100%. We all on snack bar. Right on Friday night again, but it's top secret. Yeah, well, sure, you can send me a wee message early and let me know. I'm going to, there's one on the Shore Road tomorrow. I'm going to post it up on my page. I know it's a bit late now. Most people won't see it, unfortunately. But I know there's a lot of late night owls out there. Like a wee late night chat. And sort of up that page too. Neo, Lily! And the 2 dogs are just running about there in the park. At the right side of Jesus, Ireland on the right-handed path, the right path. It's where we are not far right, we are far righteous. We're using God's logic and reasoning that He gives us. We're all blessed with it, it's just not many people use it. They rather be told what to do by that one authoritative teacher, that one authoritative pastor, that one authoritative judge. It's a system, it's all that. One authoritative prime minister, president, the list goes on, king, you know. It's always that one leader, which is always taken away from our individual sovereignty. We are all under God's law. It's just, you know, we're not taught that. You know, if they really wanted us to obey these laws, would they not teach us the laws in school? Would we not have to waste money to go to universities to learn these laws? And it's not mentioning our 1688 Bill of Rights either. And always revert to the 1688. It's the old English version. And just because it's English Bill of Rights does not mean that it does not apply in Northern Ireland. It is fully applicable in Northern Ireland. Doing a wee bit of sparring more, was I? Keep it up, mate. Keep it up. Kurt's Animats. This channel will no longer post Unity. Right. You trying to cast a spell there. Nate Foxy. Special branch, just profess you're Muslim, you'll be fine. Oh, I used to work with a couple of ex-special branch when I've done security controller in Queen's University. Long time ago. Almost 3,000 gods in the world. There can only be one, Alan. There can only be one. Christopher Lambert and Sean Connery showed you that in the Highlander. There can be only one. It's actually quite coincidental. They had to cut one's head off so there could only be one left. That's what it's all about, Kendo. Yes, it's all about Jesus' path. I mean, Jesus shows you the way. You know, listen, it's like this. It's a double-edged sword. You can either go with the Quran, because this is the choice we're in here. And I mean, realistically, they give us a choice. It's the Quran or Christian ways, and we disagree with their ways, and they disagree with our ways. And what's going to happen? They're going to force us just to accept no-hate laws. So a mixture in the middle there, yeah. No-hate laws, folks. It's, you know, all right, we'll talk about Sharia law and stuff, but there's always a method to their madness and a means to an end with these think tanks. I mean, they've already expected our reactions. They wanted us to go into chaos and start burning everything. They just didn't expect Stevie Baker to come along and say, hold on a minute, folks, here, calm down. Let's try this. Let's put a wee bit of a spanner in the works, and that's why they're all looking at me, scratching their heads. Yeah, 100%. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm just telling my lace here. That's what I'm saying. With a double-edged sword, you know, the Quran or the Bible. They're mad. These people are absolute fucking sociopaths. So they are. But the problem is we just keep bowing down and being subservient and conforming to whatever they tell us to do. And the PSNI is to be free from partisan political control, by the way, folks. So no, we're acting out on behalf of the government. Or even if they're acting out on behalf of TransLink, they're perjuring their oath. Silly boys. Yeah, Scotland's under Roman law, Kendo. That's right. That's why I actually see some cases. And I'm looking through some case laws. It'll just say RV. It's like my case will say RV Stephen Samuel Baker. Well, that R represents Rex, I think it is. It falls under Roman maritime law. Something along those lines. So, yeah. I don't know, what's the argument here? What are you going on about? I don't have to go back and see what these are fucking giving off about. She should change her name to Naomi Wade. And so, you're getting upset because of Naomi Wade? Am I right here? Aye, Galloway, she's broader than the MI5's jihadi watch list. Another one you could look at. The merchant law of the high sea. Yeah, well, that there comes below ecclesiastical law, though. Remember that? Land, air, water. The thing about all these ex-statutes legislations, they are secondary to our Bill of Rights. I mean, the Magna Carta just lays in my heart. You know, I've always wanted to impose the Magna Carta, let's say, on our lands, because I believe that that's what needs to be done. We need to run Parliament, you know. Some of these people, I would say nearly all of them, probably need tried and justice served for the things that they're doing on us. Yes, Ireland, pray in private, because nothing you say in private won't be heard. It tells you that. Nothing you say in private won't be heard. Night Galloway, Ritter, have a good one. Good night. God bless. Right, well, here's the thing about being religious. Everybody has to be, you know, what's a religion? Is religion something that you rely on, and you know, and you have faith on it? Some people will say they believe this or they believe that, but to believe in something it's a negative. Let's just put it down as a negative, because the word lie lays in the word believe. It's just the way you say it. You don't say live. So I would say to people, do you believe? Not that, as even believe could be seen as, you know, unalive and something. But being that religious, I mean, look at it this way. Alan, would you consider maybe that someone is looking after you, you know, if you lose someone close to you, or, you know, someone survived an illness, you know, someone's looking after you? It's like my car accident 25 years ago. I was on a life support machine for 12 days. My father stood over me and asked. My father was a devout Christian. I was raised in church. Went to a wee church up in Knocknagunny Baptist Church. I would have went to as a youngster growing up, and then down to Ballyhackamore Sunday School, because that's where I was raised as a youngster. Ballyhackamore. Used to live in Kerslawn Crescent and then off Holland Drive. You know, so I come from a broken family. My mum lived in the Glencairn. My dad lived in the east, so I lived both sides. My dad was one of those men when I was off school. He always had me over, always had me staying with him. Summer holidays, weekends, always had me with him. Unless he had to go to work and couldn't have me. So that's the kind of values I hold when it comes to my boys, my 4 boys. You know, he laid down, he asked God to take him in place for me. Like I say, I was laying on a life support machine, and he died 6 months later. Fell off a scaffold, died instantly. It's mad how this world works. So be careful what you ask for in life, folks. But yeah, and again, let's get back to it. You know, based on the religious side of things, I mean, all my life, I mean, that car accident I had 25 years ago, I should be dead, man. And I should be dead. And then when I think of all these things going on now, and how I'm going about what I do, you know, I have a security background. I was a security controller in Queen's University and used to do security in HMV in Belfast there. And then I just, once I stopped that, I just sort of went out and just done my own thing. Worked for myself over the years, on and off. Then I signed on. And signed off 10 years ago again, and that was me. Just took my own life by the horns. Yes, I get that there. You believe in what we're doing, and you're going to look after. What we're doing is, what I particularly want to do is, you know, encourage everyone to get their own courage. You know, I think it was Voltaire says that without courage there are no virtues. You know what I mean? You know, be strong, be courage. You know, courage is the ultimate virtue. That's what it was. Voltaire said, courage is the ultimate virtue. Without courage, there are no virtues. You know, so I'm being virtuous. You know, I'm just one of those people. There's no fear. You know, if death comes to me, it's coming. But only the Father knows when it's my time's up. So, you know, a lot of things I'm doing is pissing a lot of people off. Put myself at risk. Maybe not. But all you have to do, okay, bro. All you have to do is look at the hate I've been getting lately. Look at the attacks that have been coming on my personal life also. People making accusations that there's paedophiles staying with me. No, I'll not be accepting that there. So I'll call them out. But I'm done with all that ranting anyway. I like to let the water settle so I can see the shark fins poking up, you know. There's a lot of sharks in this world, and I know that because I have experience. It's not like what I'm doing here I haven't done before. A lot of you remember back in the COVID days, I was always prominent. It was a bit more, I'd say, not as stoic as it would be now. I see it for what it is. I've accepted it, and I know the world I'm living in now. Like some people just get caught up with the words, and there's a term known as mens rea. Mens rea, did he have the guilty intent to offend you? Did he mean to offend you? Was it just a flip of the finger in his context? I know. Get that. But here's the thing. I mean, the way I see it, all sticks and stones, it break my bones. Maybe you're not religious yet. Maybe seek ye, and ye will find. If you're not looking for God, you're not going to find Him. If you're not learning what Jesus' path was all about and righteousness, and He who cast the first stone, that he be free from sin, cast the first stone and all that. So, for me, sticks and stones, people can say what they want. It's water if it ducks back now, unless it's physically affecting me and my life and my family. It's not really worth getting yourself wound up about, mate. And all I can say is Jesus would tell you, I am the truth, the way and the light. So all I'm saying is do a wee bit of reading up on it. That's right, Kendall. Nobody can judge. Nobody can judge. Only God can judge me. That's what I say. Only God can judge me now. Everything I do is for righteousness, and my virtues stand high for our children and our futures. I want to be able to grow old too. I want to be able to have grandchildren, great-grandchildren, if Father gave me that amount of time. But you never know. You can walk out and get hit by a bus the next day. So remember what I said earlier. Be careful what you say, folks. I'll not be walking out near the roads, near buses for the next few days, just in case. But I'm going to go get my doggies here, and I'm going to end the wee video and let you all get to bed. And I go home and do a bit of research now. See who else is pulling strings of our politicians. And let you all know. So there's a protest at Shore Road tomorrow night, usually at 7:30, over at the bottom of Skaggan Avenue. The bottom of that road, that's where they usually have their protest. If there is any change, I will let you know tomorrow. So good night all. Your life is lost in the knowledge and the wisdom, like I say. Now, people will suffer for lack of knowledge. And those of the sheep that don't hear his voice, they will suffer. And that is, and Matthew tells you, the meek shall inherit the earth. That's what it tells you. The meek, who are the meek? The meek are the patriots. Those of us who see through the veil of lies. Can I see the screen there? Thank you, Aaron. Yep, lose yourself in Christ, James. That's right. Learn the ways. It's like a Jedi. Become a Jedi. We are all Padawans, all those that are seeking, all those that are looking. We are just the Padawans. We are here on a mission to become the Jedis. And I just walk into a magistrate's and be like, there will be no conviction. There will be no conviction. See if it works, yeah? Right, so I'm just going to get the doggies leads here. Let's get a bit of lead. You just can't see me. I'm going to head off anyway, folks, and good night and God bless. Remember, for God and Ulster, we're all in this together. Good night.